Have you ever built something with all your effort, all your passion, all your time, and watched it collapse? I have. And what nobody tells you is what happens after. Today I'm going to tell you my real story. No filters, no embellishments. The story I wish I had heard when I needed it most. My name is Luis. I am a businessman, or I was, for over 20 years. I started at 17 selling pet food door to door. No money, no contacts, just desire and hunger to build something of my own. And I came from helping my parents in their family construction business while studying business administration and finance. From a young age, I knew I wanted to work for myself. What I didn't know was the price I was going to pay. From selling pet food, I moved on to opening a bar restaurant together with a music bar. I learned to manage teams, deal with clients, solve problems every day. When I transferred those businesses, I went back to my roots, construction. I set up my own company rehabilitating old buildings, full renovations top to bottom, and it worked. It worked very well. Then came the scaffolding sales and rental company, then another one, abroad scaffolding and machinery. And at the same time, my own real estate agency, buying properties, renovating them and selling them. Several companies running at once, teams in different cities, operations in other countries. I was 40 and felt I had built something real, something solid, something mine. I lived well, above average. Cars, travel, luxuries I could only imagine before. It was everything that 17-year-old boy delivering pet food had ever dreamed of. But problems don't warn you. They arrive slowly. First a client who doesn't pay, then a contract that falls through. Then the numbers don't add up. You start plugging holes with more work, more hours, more stress. You tell yourself it's temporary, that it will sort itself out, that you've always pulled through. The nights start to be different. You go to bed, but you don't sleep. Your head won't stop. The numbers, the debts, the employees, the obligations. And on top of that, you try not to let it show at home, that everything is fine, that you can handle everything, because that's what a businessman is supposed to do, right? What nobody tells you is that the stress of a company doesn't stay in the office. It comes home with you. It sits at the table when you have dinner with your family. It gets into your bed. It installs itself in your head 24 hours a day. I started to change without realizing it. I became more irritable, more distant. Conversations with my partner became increasingly tense. I was physically there, but mentally, I was still in the company, in the problems, in the debts. The marriage started to break down. And when that happened, I felt that what little I had left standing was collapsing. That's when real desperation arrived. The anxiety. That feeling of your chest tightening and not being able to breathe properly. That nothing has a solution. That you have failed at everything. In business, in your family, in yourself. Depression is not being sad. That's the first thing I want you to understand. Depression is feeling nothing. It's waking up in the morning not knowing why. It's looking at everything you built and feeling not pride, just weight, just guilt. There were very dark days when the silence was too great, but something in me kept resisting. Perhaps the same instinct that made me start selling pet food at 17. That small voice that said there was still something to do. Recovery was not a moment. It was a slow process, very slow. I had to make peace with failure. Understand that losing a company or your wife does not make you a failure. That a person's worth is not in what they have, but in how capable they are of getting back up. Today I feel well, calm, with more clarity than ever about what I want and what I don't want. More selective with people, more honest with myself, and with something I didn't have before, time to think. And above all, the desire and strength to start new projects. But this time was something I didn't have before, real experience and mental clarity. I'm opening this channel because I wish I had found someone who told this story when I was living it. Someone real, no poses, no courses to sell, just lived experience. If you've made it this far, it's because something in this story resonates with you. Subscribe, because this has only just begun. I know there are many people who have lived or are living something similar. That's why I will keep sharing my story, my experiences, my successes and my failures, and everything I have learned along the way. You are not alone. See you in the next video.